What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. So the WNBA is having a moment right now. Bigger crowds, more media coverage, and more eyes on the game than ever before. But with that spotlight comes higher expectations for how the game is played. And last night, during the matchup between the Seattle Storm and the Dallas Wings, well, not last night, it was actually June 3rd. So it was about when this game was again. Sorry, family. Good luck. This was actually, yeah, June 3rd. It was Tuesday. I said last night. Sorry, family. Um, how the game was played during the matchup between the Seattle Storm and the Dallas Wings. And a play occurred that's reigniting the conversation about physicality versus recklessness. Now, I wanted to preface the conversation with that, but I really wanted to ask you guys and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark isn't effective in the league, right? Or a lot of people that are talking about Caitlin Clark in regards that she did not um pay dues to the individuals that came before her, like a Cheryl Swoops and a Dawn Staley, those individuals, right? But we know that she did. But however, we all know that when it comes to entitlement, no matter how much you give credit to the individuals that came before you, the individuals that came before you is so entitled that they're never satisfied, no matter how many times you give them a thank you. But I want to take it a step further and ask you guys a question. If Caitlin Clark is not only changing the trajectory of the league, and I know we talking about Djane Carrington, but I'm going to tie it all together. Just give me a second. If Caitlin Clark is not the individual who made the big change because it took the people that came before her, then why the individuals that came before her, like a Cheryl Swoops, wasn't so phenomenal to the point where she was able to put the spotlight on other players throughout across the league, even at different teams. Now that's next level because what I'm saying is, Caitlin Clark has been so effective in marketing this league, bringing new eyeballs as we know it. Like myself, I'm a new eyeball. I've been a year into watching the WNBA. It's been phenomenal. We all know that Caitlin Clark rookie season was last year. That was her first year in the WNBA. So obviously this is going to be my second year because I start watching it when Caitlin Clark started coming into the league. But point I'm trying to make is Caitlin Clark brought new eyeballs to even pay attention to a DiJonai Carrington, right? And we could give credit to Angel Reese because it was that whole Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark rivalry that hasn't happened yet that they try to ignite based off the NCAA championship. I mean NCAA game. And who won the championship in the case was Caitlin Clark, right? Who took the trophy and she's been sprinting ever since then, having a phenomenal run. And she's still having a phenomenal run that's going to go down as the Mount Rushmore in the WNBA. But the point I'm saying is, if Cheryl Swoop and all these dinosaurs from yesteryear were so phenomenal and they want their credit for the work that they put in before the younger girls and the next generation have came into play, then why during their time when Cheryl Swoops played and she was so phenomenal, why she didn't be able to put spotlight on other WNBA players, let alone change the trajectory of the league to change the way they take flights? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So this is living proof, and this is evidently proven that Caitlin Clark obviously is not only is bigger than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark could care less about the spotlight. She just loved the game. She out there competing. She doing her thing. But she's naturally, with that competition aura that she had, that competitive aura that we the fans, love to see. You can clearly see that her bringing those new eyeballs translated to individuals wanting to dive deeper into this league to even pay attention to a Djane Carrington. So that's how phenomenal Caitlin Clark is. I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people don't realize how one player just brought eyeballs to the whole league for people to even for the WNBA to have bigger crowds and more media coverage and more eyeballs to look at games from different players. Cheryl Swoops didn't have that much of a phenomenal run, if you ask me, in my opinion. So if anything, yeah, you could get the credit, respects due to you, but at the end of the day, you didn't bring spotlight to other people. It stopped. The ball stopped when Cheryl Swoops stopped playing. When Caitlin Clark gets done, when her time is up later on down the line, long before she done and retire, She already bringing eyeballs to the next generation like a Paige Buckers. You know what I'm saying? A Juju Watkins. That's how phenomenal it is. So she'll be bringing eyeballs to players after her when she's long done playing, when she's ready to wrap it up. Just want to put that out there because it's phenomenal. But with just under 1 minute to go, Seattle's Skylar Diggins-Smith was sprinting toward the basket in transition. Out of nowhere, Dallas guard, um, DiJonai Carrington, the legendary DiJonai Carrington, come flying in, swooping like a darn hawk. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me, maybe eyeballs are on DiJonai Carrington because you know that in college, Galen Clark played for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And it's like DeJounte Carrington been a hawk ever since then when it comes to these reckless plays. But anyway, she came flying in from behind, making contact that sent Diggins to the floor. And the foul was reviewed and officially upgraded to flagrant 1, which we'll see the clip in a second. And a kind of foul that's not just physical, but considered dangerous or excessive, so to say. And the league classified it by the rule book, but many fans and commentators felt the contact went beyond just a hard play from multiple angles. The motion and force behind Carrington's contact raised concerns about whether it was careless or retaliatory or even intentional. And Skylar was able to walk it off, but it could have been much worse. And that's what has people talking. So, with no further ado, family, I have different clips from different angles. I will be muting the audio due to copyright purposes, but we're going to check it out from different angles and then we're going to have a conversation about it. With no further ado, let's check out the clip. That's first clip. Now, this is, in its entirety, the play. Oh, it's 1 second. So, this is the play in its entirety from a different angle. And this was another clip in regards of them naming the call to officials.
The foul's been upgraded to a flagrant 1. Skylar Diggins will shoot 2
You know, like she was over there meditating.
And they will receive the ball sideline extended.
It minds blow me. It blows my mind how she can play she be so victimatic or run into the victim Olympics that you over there pissed for what when it was a dirty foul. We all know in basketball the best way to play defense is staying in front. She all the way up there. You running all the way. She already up for the free layup anyway, baby. Just take your losses and run it back down the court and reset for defense and don't let it happen again. Now I get it from a coach perspective and a basketball player competitive perspective. You never want to just give up easy layups. But look at the play, family. Look at the play. Look, volleyball you ain't had to force and had to volleyball your whole body. Like you could at least slapped her on the arm or something, right? Okay, foul. Try to swipe, but you did the whole let me thrust my hips and body forward and fly like a darn eagle. Like you ain't had to do all that. That was just dirty in itself. So let's check out the comments. Someone says those little eyelash flutters are messing them up. I guess because it's attractive. Okay, she needs to take anger management classes. Someone say, that's it for that. Let's check out the commentary from the other clip, right? Let's check out what people are saying. Let me zoom out, okay. This is the worst one for me. When you see other players running down a breakaway layup, they go off to the side and after the ball. DiJonai Carrington does not have the vertical leap to jump over Skylar's body to get this block without going through her, and she knows it. And that's a substantial point. You know, they usually go to the side. If someone's breaking away, running down for a layup, they usually go off to the side and try to swipe the ball, and they'll give them a foul because they don't want to give them the easy layup. But to try to vertical leap, to jump over somebody and try to go over them to get a block, like, come on, man. So, and some people are saying it's extremely not dirty. So that's the overall sentiment of that. Let's check out what people are saying on YouTube. All right, let's see the comments in this short right here. I guess the league is waiting until she puts a player in the hospital before they suspend her. You would have to be really athletic to block that from behind using 2 hands to swipe down is unnecessary. My point exactly. I'm saying the same thing. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't know. But put it like this. Now that we got the thing that everybody's talking about, the play, let's be clear. Basketball is physical. We get that, right? Tough defense is part of the game. But when physical play crosses into recklessness, especially with repeated incidents from the same player, the league has a responsibility to step in, not just for the safety of that player that's having these repetitive incidents, but the league as a whole and the other players that's on the floor. So this isn't the first time Carrington's name has come up, is what I'm trying to say. Earlier this season, she was involved in another high-profile play involving Caitlin Clark. Well, not even earlier this season, last year, right? When she had did the nails gouge, the eye gouge. And she just did it not too long ago, the eye gouge. Let's look it up for a second. Cause let me see. Let's see. Cause she just did that at the beginning of this season of this year. That was wild. We'll get into that in a minute with the hair pull. But that was last year. She did the eye gouge with Caitlin Clark. And then what she do the eye gouge with? I forgot. It was just the beginning of this year. Let me see. I don't remember. I forgot what team she just did that. Comment down below, family. You remember what team she just did the eye gouging with recently. Was it the Link? Nah, was it the Lynx? I think it was with her with the Lynx. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. I tell you, man, DiJonai Carrington is making airwaves. Mm, you see, cause she just did the eye gouge recently. I don't remember what team, family. I don't want to hold you guys up, but uh, she just did that. I don't remember, but my point is, um, the point I'm trying to make here is we got to be real here. It's a physical sport. This ain't the first time she have done overly aggressive stuff like this involving Caitlin Clark. And if you add this you add in this latest flagrant right here that we're talking about, and pattern starts to emerge. That's why fans are asking, like, how many flagrant fouls before the WNBA takes real disciplinary action? And that's reasonable. That's fair, because some fans are now calling for a multi-game suspension, and others are pushing for the league to review Carrington's conduct as a whole, not just this play, but across several games this season. Now, I like to break down things from a common sense perspective using something that we all can relate to in our everyday lives. So if you at a workplace, right, and someone having a competitive, or not competitive, they're having a repetitive hostile behavior, creating a hostile work environment. It's the same thing. Obviously, DiJonai Carrington has a lot of hostility within her, where she's doing these dirty plays, even though the sport is physical. But that doesn't sit there and excuse or absolve you from the simple fact that you're just being ignorant when it comes to how you conduct yourself when it comes to playing a physical sport, right? Because there's rules. So this puts the whole WNBA in a tough spot. On one hand, the league has to work hard to promote a competitive, no fear brand of basketball. And on the other, is responsible also for protecting players, all players, regardless of the status or team affiliation, right? And if the league allows repeated reckless plays without consequences, it sets a dangerous precedent. It signals that as long as you're playing with intensity, player safety is negotiable, and this can't be the message. Not in a league trying to grow and earn mainstream respect. And yes, there is a media component here, right? The WNBA is often stuck between promoting authenticity, and navigating politics and modern sports coverage, right? So, but accountability can be optional. Just because a player is popular or outspoken or part of a larger cultural conversation, um, If this had happened to any other star player, whether Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, Audrey Wilson, fans would be demanding action, right? So Skylar Diggins-Smith deserves the same protection. With that being said, so after the foul, Carrington was seen, she seen her meditating on the side. We saw that clip, and some took it as a moment of composure. Others saw it as performative, as if she was trying to control her emotions just enough to avoid further penalty, but while still making sure the cameras caught her calm under fire act, right? But whatever the intent is, it didn't help her case. We're gonna say that because moments like that, fair or not, can get interpreted as an attention seeking, especially when they follow a controversial foul, right? So, look, the WNBA has an opportunity here, not just to review a single foul, but to send a clear message about what kind of basketball it wants to promote. Physical, absolutely. Reckless and unsafe, absolutely not. I mean, it can't get that it can't get that simple, folks. So, if Carrington play is allowed to slide without further review or action, it could send the wrong message, not just to players, but to fans, sponsors, and young athletes watching. And it tells them there's no real line between effort and endangerment. And that's not what this league is about. This isn't about one player. I'm taking a conversation further because it's about raising the standards of play across the board. So, what do you guys think, though? Was the foul part of the game or did it cross the line? Should the league step in or is this overblown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe because we breaking down real stories behind the headlines. And if the league does respond, you know I'll be over here covering it with her repetitive behavior. But I wanted to show you guys that incident that I said that happened similar to Caitlin Clark's incident last year with the eye gouging because um I've been trying to show you guys and I want to make sure I show you guys so it all ties together on what I'm saying. Give me a second. Carrington. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay, I just go to my clip, okay? I just pull up my clip because I did cover it. This was the incident that recently happened with the eye gouging. And now you follow this up with another wild, dangerous foul of hers. It's getting crazy, man. So, where's the video at that I covered of her doing this again recently? Okay, here we go. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. So we could so this is what I was talking about, folks. All right. I covered it. Let's go over here. Which is your teammate,
Yeah, so it
defending her,
was
who's falling with Shepard. So why you coming from behind like you just going, and if you going for a block, I never knew that the best way to play basketball is staying in front of her. If you wasn't in regards to the incident when she got off the court, you're able to get your nails done, but on the court for
this was
putting her
11 days
hands,
ago.
her acrylic fingernails from getting her nails done, more specifically, all up in another player's face. Now, just to refresh memories, this happened last year, right? In regards of DiJonai Carrington, when it came to this whole eye gouging situation with Caitlin Clark, right? And I wanted you guys to see in its entirety, right? Boop, like a teardrop, went right into raking into Caitlin Clark's eye. For a game or not, you cannot deny that this is the second time in under a year that Carrington's name has come up in connection with what basketball behavior and tipping barking face. And my fellas, I can't have a clip now in regards to the incident when she played against. If you look at it, family, her coming from behind like that. Let's say if Djane Carrington was going full sprint, she couldn't control her body. Number 15, which is Shepard, who had the ball, and DiJonai Carrington going running behind her like that to so-called. Yep. So that just recently happened with the Minnesota Lynx, where DiJonai Carrington doing that with the links. And it's just mind blowing to me how she keep getting away with this stuff, man. Like, it is wild. Like, she just did that not too long ago playing against Minnesota. And she keep having this behavior of running behind players and thrusting her whole body. So she needs to stop this. She needs to stop doing these type of things. She needs to stop endangering other players and herself. I'm being very objective here. And she needs to get it together. She needs to get it together. She needs to get it together. So let me know what you guys' thoughts. I showed you guys a little bit of the video. I was trying to see if I could find that clip that I had covered of her doing the same thing again. With this whole eye gouging thing. Let me see if I can find it one more time. Thanks. Yeah, family. But you guys get my point. You guys get my drift. I'm gonna leave it there. She just gotta stop with this mess. Let me see if I can. 'Cause I really want to show you guys. Excuse my typos. I'm just typing fast. Yeah, this was 2 weeks ago. Yep, this is the hard file right here. Boom. She just did this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying, family? These dirty players gotta stop, bro. Like, she can't keep doing this to people. Like, why you coming behind when you already got your teammate defending in the front, bro? This is crazy. But anyway, family, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know your thoughts.